Can you do a 2 towers chimps with the new Desperado monkey? Today we're going to accomplish that with each of the 3 pads. Stick around to find out which combos I pick. And you know the common saying, we're gonna save the worst for last. We're gonna start with the middle path Desperado on a resort here. And I'm going to, because of the placement of the rifle, put the Desperado in the top right corner. Just a friendly reminder that the Desperado, middle path Desperado, will have 2 different attacks. It'll use the worst attack at short range, and then the better attack, aka the rifle, at long range. So, where I have the Desperado right now will have its pistol / worst attack, maybe with a radius of something like here. So, it'll avoid balloons for a good amount of the time. It probably will still shoot, just because multi-class balloons have a big hitbox, but hard to really figure out on this map. Also, the 000 only makes it up to round 8, so now we're going to add our second tower. We're going to go for a bold choice because I think the Desperado, middle path Desperado, is decent enough in 2 TC that we can go with a largely support option, aka the bomb shooter. Eventually, we're going to turn this into the Balloon Crush. Funnily enough, this is actually the carry tower for the early game because the Desperado sucks so bad until tier 3. So therefore, the really big bombs is the way to go, until we get the 3.2k save for Deadeye. Now, what's interesting for the middle path Despacito for 2 towers chimps combos is the fact that this can grant cam protection on your second tower with the ability. Not full uptime, but this can open the door for a good amount of new combos, because, well, without that ability, you would have to rely on this guy for solo camo, but now, it'll come clutch around 33 here. For the group bomb power, we just simply give cam protection to this guy with the take aim ability, and just like that, 33 beaten. Now cross-pathing, there's probably good merit to going 032 over 230. Wanderer will give you 2 stacks at the very lowest. However, I think Quick Draw and Standoff is still overall better, because where I have it positioned right now, Quick Draw will almost always get a very strong buff. Basically how it works is every unit of range away will increase the attack speed. So only when balloons are the exit will the quick draw buff not really work, but that's not gonna happen, is it? Unless the balloon's leaking. And I'm not even talking about the minimum attack speed potential, but the max attack speed potential is 50% more than the Wanderer, which would at most give 30, or rather 20, since this guy's in radius. I think we can try to not even buy the really big bombs for now, or Balloon Impact, and just go straight for the Golden Justice. Rifle is just that good. You also might notice that there's a radioactive effect. This is probably just a visual bug, because I think the radioactive effect is actually just the fact that it's marked. And it behaves weirdly because it ends up marking the, what do you call it, Moab? And not, but it works on the insides too. Okay, this is a bit of an awkward round. Round 61 has a bunch of Regro Zebras, which my Balloon Impact cannot hit. So this might be cooked, I'm not sure. Because that rifle only has so much pierce. Now, for those who don't know, what you can do is you can actually mark balloons globally with the main attack. So what we can do is get a nice head start. Use that mark ability. Let's set it on last to get as many zebras as possible. And then hopefully it comes back up again. But it might be looking like you can only use 1 mark per round, which is not good. And so we're still in the same spot. Tough position. Okay, how about this then? I think the pistol attack can actually get more, what do you call it, zebras per unit time. It only has 1 pierce, but it shoots at a much faster rate and double attack. So using the ability on itself will give it more range, and take a look. There's now only a couple zebras getting through. Can we fend it off? Oh, it's close. It's close. But, come on. Not much left. Just a small line here. Give it range. Wow, what a clutch. That could not have been any closer. Now let's see if this can clutch up. Good. One-shot zebras. Or rather ceramics. And there we go. I think the hardest round might just have been done. Okay, I almost ended up having to buy a Balloon Impact for this round, but just after some careful micro, we beat 62. Still 1 round away, or 5,000 away from getting the Golden Justice, and this is not good. The really big bomb spawns a lot of black balloons, and that is killer, because this guy won't be able to pierce all of them. I can try marking them, but again, that's a limited amount of balloons. We have to somehow have this avoid doing any damage at all to it. So for that, what we're going to do is we're going to mark it a bunch of ceramics, let it damage, and just like that, there are a lot less black balloons left over. Let's see if we can clutch up. No. Also, today I learned that if you pop balloons multiple layers when they're marked while using this guy's ability, it will shoot rapidly for a very long time until they are all dead. Regardless, I think I might have to change my crosspathing. Like, this run might be bricked. I might need 302 to be able to have frag bombs to pop black balloons for me, or zebras. And so that's exactly what I ended up doing. Going back to round 15 to do 302, sacrificing some attack speed just for reliability. And now that turns round 61 into apparently a complete joke, because all of a sudden those zebras are instantly dead. So can we really consider the Balloon Crush a support tower when it's honestly doing a majority of the DPS cure work for these rounds here? Because I don't think I can. And take a look on 63 here. We'll still mark some of the black balloons here, but overall, we clutched up. And just like that, it's done. First try. And there we go. Golden Justice has been afforded. And now from here, saving up for the Balloon Crush should be very easy. In fact, do we even need Balloon Crush? Well, my guess is probably yes in the late 90s, but I guess we'll see how long we can survive without it. And now we'll pick back up on round 87, where it seems like we're getting overwhelmed just to the sheer amount of balloon insides. Good timing, too. I think we are exactly on the round where we can afford the Balloon Crush. So ain't that just perfect timing? Well, I need to actually afford it first, so come on. There we go. Afforded, and please stun all the surrounds for me. Nice. Frankly, the Balloon Crush stun is overkill. It does so much. Even at 502, it is a perma-stun. Okay, so for 95 here, because we don't have full uptime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this early, and hopefully by the time it's back up again, we will be able to give cam protection on it. But oh no, those purples are running by way too quickly. We might leak to them before it's up again. Indeed, we did. Well, what I gotta do then is probably mark a bunch of purples. So after it shoots here, press mark and then have just the first wave of purples be in. So it buys us a little bit of time. And so give this ability and there we go. We beat the purples and it should be active for all of the TTs here, or most of them. Let's see. Not all of them. Crap. Only half. Can it come back up again? No. Okay, so what I did this time is I simply just didn't use the mark ability. I don't need it for the DDT part. Okay, apparently I also got insane either luck or I don't know. But this run, my railgun shots were perfect. Did you see those straight lines there? And take a look. Let's mark all the DDTs now, and we should be able to beat all of them. Nice. Camo though? Ugh, almost there. Okay, I figured it out. You need to not activate the pistol attack. Only the rifle. But essentially, I gotta leave this guy on last the whole way, and sometimes the cards will fall into our favor, and we'll get the railgun shot off. Nope, this is not the run. Alright, and hundreds of wasted hours later, I figured it out. I think I had to take it off mark priority, because what marked would do, it would prioritize the mark balloons that sometimes on last starting wouldn't get a straight line, so this makes it more consistent. Not guaranteed, but 3 in a row right there. And counting. Oh, wait. Wait. Oh my god. Okay, this is the run here. What the hell? Last? No. I didn't get lucky. Okay, this might be the luckiest run I've had so far. Don't die, come on. There's only a couple left. First. Come on, this is it. This is it. Camo. Let's go. As you can see in the replay here, it was basically trial and error in terms of giving the dead eye ability on the bomb so that it would get as many railgun shots as possible. I just kept tweaking with the timing of it until it would stop stunning DTs close to the range of the Golden Justice I've had, or just, you know, insane RNG. But still, what a goddamn stupid run. If the range of the pistol was just a little bit tinier, we could probably first try rounds like 96. That's the sad reality of this tower. 98 should be quite the breeze. First try. And Chemo for this round. And round 100. Let's see. I think I'd rather take aim on this guy to give more range. Mark in advance too, so we get the mark bonus early. And that should be all we need. Only thing I gotta watch out for is maybe popping them too early. DT's too early, but I can mark it, remember? I can mark it. So, just rifle on this Rams and easy. I did not need to pick a 2 TC combo with Golden Justice that was this difficult, because there were probably many other towers, but I did it to prove a point that Golden Justice is pretty damn close to carrying Chimps run-ins on his own, even though the pop count of this guy was pretty high compared to him. I spent way too long on 95 already, so let's move on. Next up, we're going to 2TC with the Desert Phantom on Spa Pits. Desert Phantom is, I would say, an okay 2TC. The only issue is that this tower can't hit lead balloons at all, so you need your second tower to have full DT popping. So what tower is a DT solo? Well, that is going to be the Mortar Monkey. We can solo up to round 10 with it, and we're gonna make sure to put it away so that we keep all 3 Wanderer stacks to keep the 30% attack speed on this guy. The Bloons Incineration, I think, is a godsend on this map because there are a lot of circles, and the Mortar loves circles when balloons go in circles. And so their explosions will hit the most amount of balloons possible. We're actually going to cross-path the Bloons Incineration with the top path. The reason being, the top path has extra mob damage. We just hope, though, that the lack of attack speed does not prevent us from, not being able to be the early rounds here, but what's nice about the bigger radius is that it can pretty much burn all balloons on fire on the very first circle bend there. And after some difficulty needing to retry some rounds, we finally got Enforcer, which gives it the shotgun attack, so now it should be a bit more reliable. And I believe the Avenger is a solid enough mid-game that it can probably carry us straight into Desert Phantom. The tier 5 we're gonna get at first, and then probably Bloons Incineration after. Sounds like the easier save up IMO. And what did I say? Saved up for the Avenger. And now can you save up for the Phantom Desert without even buying Shattering Shells, which in essence will make it almost a 1 TC to it, considering this is not really giving much support damage. Not to fret though, if we can't save with $33,000, then we can at least get Shattering Shells, which is a solid DPS option now, funnily enough. 8 damage burn tick is nothing to scoff at, but this thing is seemingly packing a solid enough punch that, yep, we can afford it. There we go. Desert Phantom at the end of 58. In a way, looking at this, I think it's kind of fair they didn't give this guy the ability to pop lead, because this is a really good cost-efficient tower. If they did give it lead popping, then they probably have to increase the price a good amount to match that. Because we're literally able to AFK up until getting Bloons Incineration. Just out of curiosity, I will see, though, how long with just Shattering Shells I can make it up to with just the Desert Phantom largely DPS. Currently up to 64,000 saved up. Probably can make it up to 70, especially since the Fortifieds are no longer a Fortified issue. But, right, DDTs. That is where we finally need the Bloons Incineration. And so again, just leaving this one bend here, and all we need to do, because of the extra tick damage, is put it in this bend. You just gotta set the DTs on fire once, and they will pop. Alright, enough interruptions. Now, I think we can go back to Mega Fast Forward, shall we? 93, Sleeper. 94's got a lot of balloons, but also Sleeper. 95 has got purples and leads, which I guess are a bit of an issue for the Bloons in, eh? What we need to do is make sure we are popping the leads a little bit earlier so that the Desert Phantom can actually clear the purples in the way. So I'm going to do a little bit of light micro in the entrance. Let's see. Here come DDTs. Let's put it back in this bend here, and we should be good. We missed one DDT, but this is probably doable with some Mortar micro. Round 95 will be in my nightmares from here on out. So, everything, a lot of cerams getting to the last bend. Unfortunately, the shotgun is going to leak couple them. I had to change my mortar positioning, but this could cook me to the balloon insides, or can we actually clutch it? Oh man, one DT left over. Well, it's not gonna be as bad as the first combo, that's for sure. Okay, new strategy. This part up here can hit all leads without leaking any or having to move it back, so that gives us a head start. And so now we can go back to schedule programming over here and take a look at how chill the rest of the run is here. Now that everything's on fire, we just set some walls of fire in the back here, and that's it. 95 is done. And I expect that to also be the hardest round of this challenge. Wanna bet? Here comes 98 with a bunch of fortified BFBs, and we'll make sure to defortify them first before moving the wall fire to the next bend. Or rather, I think it's probably better just to keep it in this bend here, because the wall fire will last on the way around. So that helps us get a bit of surround damage in. See here? Just have to make sure that we don't get pierce cap to some of them. Looks scarily close that time, but I think we're good. 98 first try. And 99 should also be first try. Fortified DTs are a joke. And now time to see if the Bloons TD can do all the bad damage here, because the Desert Phantom is not going to do a whole lot. Out of curiosity, we'll keep track of how many pops it gets. Desert Phantom got about 5,000 out of the 28,000 that round, in case you're curious. Now pops here, all on fire, so they should pop. And easy. Well, that was a very satisfying run, I have to say, and a very balanced one, too. If we take a look at the pop counts on them, discount village appearance, by the way, then without really even trying, we've got 1.1 and a small deviation of 950k on the second guy. Not bad. And now, last and definitely least, we are going to pull out the top path Desperado. First things first, we must ask is, can we save for the big iron? That will allow us to get our second monkey, because this is I would say this is probably the best upgrade of the top path. Not including, I guess, the cross-pathing, because Quick Draw is really good. But take a look at that, 2.6k save up, and now I'm gonna drop my second tower down, Churchill. Apparently this spot over here is the best on logs, mostly because you put it on last and you get very, very, very satisfying straight away. Now, Churchill isn't quite a true sun god, but it's kind of funny that Churchill is actually a very close to 1 TC. I'm not even memeing though. In order to get a 2 TC of the Blazing Sun, your second tower basically has to 1 TC because, you know, this upgrade's basically useless. So that's why we picked Churchill. Churchill can 2 TC with the help of a lot of the second towers just simply being base towers. Base meaning tier 2 or below. I don't make the rules, by the way. I know base is normally 000. But in the context of this, just know that base means tier 2 upgrades on towers. So if we can do it so easily with so many combos at tier 2, then surely a tier 5 should not be that difficult, right? Well, let's find out. After buying Blazing Sun, the good thing is that it's cheap, so now we can just spend all of our remaining cash simply on pumping money into Churchill, making him nice and beefy so that less of the runt has to go on the Blazing Sun. Speaking of which, similar to the Desert Phantom, the second tower of the 2TC with Blazing Sun has to basically hit all DDTs. Now, the Blazing Sun can put Bloons on fire, which does work on lead targets, I believe. However, the shots itself that set on fire do not actually hit lead, so that's kind of funny. In that he can damage DDTs, but only indirectly in the form of his fire DOT, which, by the way, only activates if he's shooting for a sustained amount of time. Now, I will admit the Blazing Sun is a little bit more than useless in the mid-game rounds. Mid-game up to round 81, in which case, now things start to suck. Because no longer can it one-shot Cerams in below. It needs to make it shoot like 4 times, something like that. Either way, as you see, it do be setting things on fire. I'm just gonna let it currently do cleanup duty. So, just keep it on first so that we can leave Churchill on a straight line as long as we can. Okay, seriously, what's with me picking combos with Desperado that are always bad against 95? Because that, I think, is the only major issue, because the level 10 ability can't work on all of them. I guess that's just Desperado's weakness, eh? 93 should be no issue, though, with just 6 of them. Alright, here we go. Level 18 Churchill, Blazing Sun. How do we play this round out again? I'm not sure, but what if I use this first and then set this on last targeting? How is that working out for us? Wow, we're damaging... Oh, yeah, we're doing a pretty good job at being DTs down. Only a couple of them left, but we're not setting it on fire. Yeah, again, unsurprisingly, this guy basically has to 1TC this round. New plan, set this guy on last all the way through. And only at the end use the barrage ability. And then have Blazing Sun first for cleanup. The cleanup crew. Now ability? Let's see. Well, there are less DTs this time, but still 5 left. Okay, I think I figured it out. Basically, you want Blazing Sun on strong to put as many DTs on fire. Capiche? And then back on first to clutch up over here. And take a look at that. Down to 2 DTs left. Can we finish it? Almost. That was 1 left. Okay, this is the run here. Look, 1 DT left. Keep Churchill on first. Yep. Everything on first now. Just to make sure we get it. And finally, this round didn't take as many attempts, but it was still a little bit of a nightmare. But the worst is through, I think. Still gotta beat 98 with Churchill only at level 19. Let's see how this ends up going for us. If I use a barrage early, I can get some extra damage in. So I actually don't want to put everything on first here, or last, because I don't want to pop everything at once, so maybe first all the way for this round. Hope for the best. It's really just the fortified side we gotta take care of. So far, doing a good job by just beating a little bit at a time, but we're probably going to get overwhelmed. Yeah, once to lose this straight line. Yeah, that was a big ol' lie, alright. 98 is pretty damn hard. Attempt number 5 or something like that, which is probably my best so far. All fortified Moabs dead. Okay, this is probably beatable because it's just a couple normal BFBs. Let's go. Still not a freebie. I have to use my level 3 ability here, sadly, just to clutch up the ending here. And come on. Nice. Level 20 should be affordable. Let's see. Yep. $1,000 left over. Thank goodness Blazing Sun does not cost any more than that. This should be a freebie because this is a really good single target, and so is this. And wait for DTs, use the barrage ability, and GG. That's a 2DC with every single Desperado, and I would say, in my opinion, no cheapies either. These were not, like, free 2DCs, except the middle one, I'd say, was probably the easiest. But number 1 and 3 definitely took some thought and strategy. Overall pop count, 1.4, and I mean, not bad. It still got 600k pops for a garbage tower. And it probably made 95 easier than if I had a 000 Dart Monkey. Anyway, which was your favorite combo? And what other combos were you able to pull off? Let me know down below, and I'll catch you next time.